The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
Heart to Heart won't be seen tonight, so that we may bring you the following special program.
Heart to Heart with the Ceiling Fan Man. Heart to Heart with the Ceiling Fan Man.
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary. I say, moo. Every morning I announce to my family that I'm going jogging, and then I don't go. It's basically a running joke.
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. It's Friday night. Whoop, whoop. We made it again. We're on the correct side of the top cell. Pat yourself on the back. If you've accomplished nothing else this week, you've accomplished that. So good on you all for doing that and for being here again with me tonight. And for those of you that are live, fantastic. It'll be fun to talk with you and interact. And if you're watching this on a replay later, thank you for doing that too. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget that like button. Thank you very much. There'll be more shilling in a moment. In any case, first thing we need to do is turn on my camera so I can be seen by you all. It is this button over.
Clickety click.
There it is. Hey, everybody. Good to be seen by you all. It's a decent hair day. I'll take it. And yeah, we did it again. Made it through another week. If you're anything like me, these weeks seem to be just flying by faster and faster.
That's very true.
And so, but then again, you know, we all, at least on this channel, I believe, as some like-minded people believe, that we are in the little season.
Pizza.
Which means it's talked about. Time will fly fast during these times. So if you're feeling it, so are we. So here in this household too. But in any case, wow, pretty wild stuff as far as the news goes. Not much is going on, not like last week where they're hitting us with everything. You know, we had the aliens and we had the what do you call it? Everything to just stop looking at the files. That kind of distraction there. And this week it's just China, as the guy says. That's all it's been about. You know, who shook their hand harder? Who ended up on the right side? Did their security team to get rid of our security? It's just nonsense. It's like listening to I can't keep saying Knots Landing. I didn't even watch that show. That's from the 80s, Jeannie. What's more hip? What have I got? 90210. What else? I don't know what the new soap operas are now. Yellowstone. It's like the new Yellowstone. That was kind of a soap opera. I don't know. It's just like, what team are you on? The same kind of stuff. It's all ridiculous nonsense. Because at the end of the day, you know, they all work together. All these countries, they just have to pretend and play act this thing, and they probably do fight the leaders as far as, you know, power control. They probably fight amongst themselves and drag all of us into it, right?
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I needed a bigger sip of coffee. How about this guy? I can't even find it. Where'd he go? There he.
Now, who can argue with that?
Reverend. And my ceiling fan man mug was dirty tonight, so I went with the old sus panda that was sent to me, so thank you for that. All right. And let's see. I'll just get this all out of the way. Thank you very much. This channel supported by you through your lovely donations. There's also Patreon. There's memberships, all kinds of things like that. All the links are in the description, and Cash App, all that. We try to be obliged to anybody that wants to. And if you don't worry about it. I also, if you're enjoying the content, just hit the like button. It costs you nothing, and allegedly it helps out the algorithm. So I'll go with it. It's their ball game. And so yeah, like, share, subscribe, those things, kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much all of it for right now. The soap store is still sort of closed right now, so maybe it'll open up again. But for right now, life is happening around here, and it makes it difficult to do certain things, extracurricular activities, I guess, like that. So, but if you're just so stinky and you need something, write me an email, and I'll get it to the wife, the silent wife. She'll take care of it. So, all right. So I think that's got all that covered, and everyone's here. Everyone! And by the way, these little clips, or what do you call them, drops, that have kind of just become a staple to my show. People were asking last week if I could play the cat flying through the air video, and I couldn't find it. And that was what I was working on right before the show started. I finally found it, and I was able to upload it. And for those that you asked, the flying cat video, here it is.
What the just happened?
So there you go. You asked for it, you got it, Toyota. I don't know why I played that one. In any case, so that's that. What's going on over here? I already see it, Miss. Okay, so I got Connor there. Thank you very much. God bless you for being a member. 10 months. Wow. And then he dropped this CFM and Valhalla. So he even paid for it. So okay, we're gonna get the show started in a minute, I promise. But he invoked Valhalla, and so let's give it to him. So here you go, Connor, and whoever wants Valhalla. Here it goes.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
There we go. Yes, that was the immediate Valhalla. Oh, were you the one that asked about the cat flying? Bruce? Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't a genie. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So we good? I think I've got most of the questions and things from last week and maybe this week. If I missed anything, I will look for it. And yes. What's the latest thing he just did? He did another dumb thing. I can't even think of it right now. If I think of it, I'll come back to it. Neff Hunter. I like that name. Neff Hunter 007. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that crashing sound, I didn't add that. I did add the toot to that video, but I didn't add the crashing sound to the cat video. That's how it was. So yeah. Okay. So what else do we have here? All right. Okay, and everyone wanted the cat. I see the cat. So where is it? You love that one? Yeah. What the? Yeah. Okay, the cat. Yeah. All right. So everybody liked the cat. All right. Yes, even if they're flying through the air. Abby Normal. Now that is a completely Young Frankenstein reference, and I love it. All right. So let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, what is this? Yeah, and guess what? It helped me. Look. See? That was my cat video note. You get it? Cat video note. All right. So there. All right, where are we at here? Let's see, get rid of that. And so let's see, we got a lot to talk about because there really wasn't much in the news. So I decided to kind of recover. I've talked about nuclear weapons. This will be like my third time, I think, in a live stream. And I found some new videos, and I took one of mine and I kind of clipped them all together and put together a video that it'll be available after the show tonight if you want to watch it. I think it's a pretty good compilation of different things, including myself in there. So, and we'll watch some of that tonight too. We've got time. And then if need be, if I'm scrambling for content, I've got a lot to talk about, but still, I pulled up another Sarah video that you probably haven't seen because there's a lot of new people here. And so I've got that on the burner, as they say, in case we need it. And let's see. I think that's it. Let me get rid of this. And we'll go over here. Clickety click. So what do we have here? Okay. So first up, I wanted to bring your attention to this. I think most of the Waymos or Wamus, however you say that, are in California. But this is nuts. So this neighborhood, I don't know what happened, but they must have gotten the bad signal or the Wamu signal, and they all started to this one neighborhood. Like, I think they counted like 50 of these things.
Kidding me?
Can you imagine this in your neighborhood? I think it has a cul-de-sac even. So they go around in the circle.
Waymo after Waymo after Waymo.
Yeah, here it is.
Enter this dead-end street, usually early in the morning.
I think yesterday morning we had 50 cars that came through between 6 and 7.
They even shared video.
Is this nuts?
Are they lost?
I don't know why they're doing this. 50 cars.
With us when neighbors used this little guy to put him right out here in the street to block the Waymos from getting into the cul-de-sac, and you can imagine what happened next.
Look at that. Then they all just clogged the street. Couldn't go. They couldn't turn around or anything.
And we had at 1.8 Waymos that were stuck trying to figure out how to turn around.
The Waymos are empty and not picking anyone up. Parents are worried, not only calling it excessive, but dangerous.
We're families, we have small kids, we have animals and pets, we've got kids getting on the bus in the mornings, and it just doesn't feel safe to have that traffic.
Neighbors reached out to Waymo and have not got a response. They've also contacted their council member, representatives, and GDOT. Don't know what to do.
We would just like to see them stay on main traffic roads.
Okay, good. Whatever. Isn't that nuts? That's wild. I played the one where they had the guy that he was in a Waymo and he got stuck on the in front of it was a hotel he was at, and he was trying to get to the airport, and it kept looping the thing, and he couldn't get out. He couldn't stop the car. He finally got a human on a voice box that came through, and they had to figure out how to stop the car. They don't say if he ever made his flight, but yeah, these things are wild. So we're not quite at the, what is it? Not the Jetsons. They flew their own cars. The one where the car drives itself. Oh, it was the Bruce Willis one, not Die Hard, the other one. He was in space, and they had that, and the chick with the pyramids, and what was it? Come on, no, the pyramids was Stargate. What was the one? Anybody in the chat know what the heck I'm talking about? Not the Flintstones, Marcus. What was the Fifth Element? Thank you. Who was saying that? I can't see it over there. Kim, thank you. Yes, Fifth Element. Keep me from being lost on the internet here in front of all these people. So yes, the like that where the cars. Never mind. Let's move on. Okay, we got this, and then I'm sorry. I have no way of taking anything that someone surrounded by this disgusting amount of gold and gemstones and all this and sitting here looking like this. How do you take anything he says seriously? For reals.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Of course. Why would they think that they would leave them out of digital ID, right? It's got to be a new world order. You can't leave out one of them. And this guy's so proud that he said he's like a great descendant of Vlad the Impaler, which was, Dracula. So, but yeah, so that's happening over in England. They're getting the digital ID, just like the rest of us meatheads in all the world. So there we go. Digital ID. What's this one? Oh, and this one's hilarious. So they came out with a phone. It was a Trump phone, and they pre-sold it, and they had, I think it was 500 to 600 pre-sales at $100 a piece, and they raked in all that money, and then they never produced the phone, and it was every time they'd have a release date, it wouldn't come, and then wouldn't come, and so finally they just did do some kind of weird release date, but it's not even the phone that's pictured here anymore. And this phone was originally, the big selling point was made America by Americans. You leave the A off, you just hit America. And now apparently it's inspired by Americans, made over in China, most likely. And people are saying that the phone that they're selling now, it's not this one. It looks like something you'd see on Temu or whatever. And but I thought this meme was hilarious, because if you didn't receive your tariff or your Doge check yet, remember he promised like $2,000 on the tariffs and minimum $500 on the Doge checks. Well, then use your Trump phone to call in the complaint, which doesn't exist either. At least it didn't when this meme was made last week. And let me see if I can find what it's going to look like. They just I think this morning or yesterday, the Trump phone. Trump phony. No, Trump phone. Let's see. They have what it's going to be now. Yeah. So this is what it looks like now. Where'd it go? Where are you all? Clickety click. Go here, and here, and here. Here. So you can see that's what it said it was going to look like. This, but you're actually getting.
I would wager that everyone watching this video,
you're actually getting this, which they're saying it's like an older phone, older processor even than like what you can get nowadays. So you're basically just paying the extra money for this stamp here that says Trump Mobile. Let's get rid of this. They keep putting up ads. So so instead of that one, now you're gonna get this one. So we'll see. And that's if you get it. I mean, they haven't sent them out yet. So all right, where are we at? Let's go back over here. So, and you know, I had it written down at one point. I actually did it on a live stream. This guy sold, he had trading cards, playing cards. He had that, what are those digital things called? He had that, NFT. And of course, he had sneakers. He has his own Bible. I'm sure he doesn't read it. He has, there's just so many things that he sells, including the phone and coins with his face on it and bills with his face on it. It's just, it's nuts. It's wild that, and he's such a divider, because there's people that love him and there's people that hate him. And to me, they both sound the same at this point. I just look back and go, I can't believe we're all being deceived by this guy, whichever side you're on, because they all work together. That's the same thing. Just like the whole, you know, we're going to cover, excuse me, the war and the nuke thing and all that. It's the same thing. It's like wrestling. One of the very first videos that I was going live, I got, they knocked me off the air because I played a video where he was in a wrestling fight with Vince McMahon. And they're actors. They're wrestlers. They're actors. They're all the same. And so, love him or hate him, he's not there for you. He's there for his own purposes and to fulfill whoever's above him. And if you don't believe me that all the countries could possibly work together, then, you know, ask yourself, how come every country in the world abides by the Antarctica Treaty, even countries that don't like each other? That one we're all cool with together. And don't forget what happened in 2020, where the entire populace of the world, or whatever, the earth, went on lockdown. Like, the other countries didn't have to follow along with what the WHO and the CD and all that. They just did it. Pardon me. Yeah, they just accepted it because the orders were coming from higher up. It's not even a shadow government. I'm not talking Q, none of that stuff. You go high enough, it all equals the same thing. It's a spiritual battle, good and evil, God and Satan. So you want to go to the top, that's who's in charge of it. But, you know, there's trickle down from there. You have a king, and then you have his servants are below him, and you know what I mean? It's the same thing. So that's what all it is. And they want us to fight over whether you like the guy, you hate the guy, you have no opinion. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. Because, I mean, I don't see how you can't see this Nebuchadnezzar part of this guy yet.
In rapid order without nuclear weapons. I can't think of anybody in history that should get the Nobel Prize more than me, and I don't want to be bragging, but nobody else.
I like how he runs that sentence together.
Nobel Prize more than me, and I don't want to be bragging, but nobody else settled wars. Obama got the Nobel Prize. He had no idea why. He still has no idea. He walks around and he says, I got the Nobel Prize. Why did he get a Nobel Prize? He got it almost immediately upon attaining office, and he didn't do anything, and he was a bad president. So
he's just got to throw digs in there and all that stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't even know why they're all obsessed with this whole Nobel Prize anyways. Seems ridiculous, but whatever. And then, no, thank you. CFM for POTUS. No. All right, what do we got here? And then we keep making this joke, but then he posts this. He wants Venezuela now, right?
And we, just so you understand, the people of Venezuela, they say if I ran for president of Venezuela, I'm polling higher than anybody has ever polled in Venezuela. So.
Does he ever have a sentence where he doesn't end it with, I've done this better than anyone ever before? You know, and my wife and I were discussing, you know, you got to keep the flag with even numbers. You can't just pull in Venezuela and then you'd have an odd number of stars, right? We got to keep them even. And so, you know, of course, before Venezuela, he was eyeballing Greenland.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Right? And then I think we counted them. I think we came up with 56 or so, because on his the presidential library. Let's see, the Trump library flag. I remember he had a giant flag on it, and yeah, here it is. Okay, click. Let's see. Yeah, on his library, he has a giant flag. I mean, this is the conceptual art, of course, with 56 stars. So, you know, of course, now we've got Venezuela and Greenland, and then we've counted them before. I know Canada should already be a state at this point, and then we'll take Mexico, of course, and there's two others. I think we've thrown out the names like Guam or Puerto Rico or things like that, but he'll get them. Need them, got them. It's like Pokemon cards. So, all right, what's next? Oh, and you know, he posted a picture of himself. Well, it's as the magician robe, but it's also the he called it a doctor, but most people they say, you know, he was pretending to be Jesus. And so what does he say now?
Years, 10 years. By the way, we think we've cut it in half, but you do need a period of time. Without waiting many, many years, we know the drug works because we've taken people that were dead. We had a person given the last rites, gone. The kids are crying, and started them on this drug, and the person became better. It works.
So he brought someone back to life. Huh? What do you think of that? Are you down there, hon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His tie matches the dress.
His tie does match the dress, yes. And he brings people back to life now.
Yes.
So there's that.
Just like Jesus.
Right. He's that's his. And then, of course, don't forget, there's nothing classier than having an MMA fight.
Championship belt.
On the front lawn of the White House.
Did you know that? He was here last night. He loves this guy.
And if you know anything about MMA fighting, it's like, no, I mean, I don't think they have gloves, but maybe something, but they kick each other, they beat each other to pulp. And I mean, we've really gotten to the Roman Empire at this point, aren't we? Where it's like, you know, the fight to the death kind of thing. You're gonna have a gigantic stand in front of the White House as people beat each other to near death. So, so okay, what do we have next? And I see over there on Rumble, got 10 people over there. God bless you all. It's nice that I have a following over at Rumble, and a few people still watch me over on Rockfin. So thank you if you're over there on Rockfin right now. Okay, let me get back to where I was here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, now we got a noise. There. All right. And I think we can get rid of that. And we'll go here and here. Okay. So let's see. And don't you dare call him out on his math.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that.
So he had a ballroom, and he allegedly almost got assassinated for what, the third time, fourth time? I'm getting lost. And so we obviously needed it, and we needed it bigger. And so he doubled the size of the ballroom. So the reporters ask him, well, that means you've doubled the budget that you said you were going to spend to build your ballroom. And does he say, oh, you're right? No.
And we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule.
We're on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule of the new budget, which is double.
I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
He's such a troll. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and the whole orange makeup thing, man. Like, look at. He's got to have people that help him, right? And they totally missed this whole area here. It's like flesh tone. Wonder what it would look like if he looked more like this. It's interesting.
Under budget.
It's under, but yeah, look at, oh, and they missed some on the nose, I guess, too. But you can see this, the orangeness too. So he's under budget, and even though it's double, of course, because it makes sense, right? Okay.
It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we obviously need that.
Obviously, we obviously need it. You dumb person. And all these are to keep us from really, like, they had the alien invasion, they had the assassination, they had the I don't know, it's just they threw so much at us because they didn't want us to talk about the files. So anybody see the Alien versus Predator movie? I don't know. I heard about it. 2 species, 1 planet. Whoever wins, we lose. So, okay. And what else? And you'll never see these files. You'll never know who did what. This has been going on for it's got to be at least a decade. I know that I've been talking about it for 7-8 years. And all the files and pictures and things that were redacted, they've already been out on the internet, on Twitter, different places for years, unredacted. And so, first there was like, we have all the people, we have the black book, we have all the information. And then it was like, no, we didn't have anything, we were wrong. That all that stuff sitting on the desk turned out it was like pizza boxes, and we thought they were files. And then of course there's no black book. So, this guy sold nobody to no one, and I don't know why he and Ghislaine Maxwell were in trouble, but so it goes in the storyline that they give us that doesn't make any sense to anyone. But yeah. All right, what's next? So now they have the new one, the new distraction, the Hantavirus, right? That's what everyone's afraid of, and they're talking about, excuse me, I might already have it. They're talking about all of the things that we have to do, the PPE and all that stuff, and the shots, and the walk backwards and walk like an Egyptian and all that stuff that people were buying into last time. And man, I hope and pray that they don't fall into it like they did last time. You got this guy, and this was, again, I talked about this. You had this boat that had over 100 and some people on it. Not one of them did a live stream. Not one of them has an Instagram. They weren't posting videos or pictures or anything. We get this one guy pleading for his life out there in the ocean, allegedly, right? And then, of course, they do the digging. It doesn't take long. He was also pleading for his life back in 2022. Same guy. What are the odds? Poor guy. He's so unlucky. Just like they had a bang bang over in Ventura County area, and a lot of the people that attended that one were also at the bang bang that happened in what was that country music one? It was at Vegas or whatever. But that's just a coincidence. A lot of coincidences in this life, I'm finding. So, and then this guy, of course, he's like, now he's, they're talking about the same things that they did on the other one with the Hantavirus.
We're working with more than 20 countries to coordinate studies to better understand the natural history of the disease.
I'm sorry, it's just me maybe, but I find that accent hard to take seriously as he's trying to tell me what I'm supposed to put on my face and how I'm supposed to live my life and stuff. Now, if I called him up because my computer crashed, no problem, 100%, whatever the guy says. But this?
Today, an open scientific consultation on Andes virus, medical countermeasures.
I mean, he's even not even saying it the way I know how to say Hanta, so I don't know. But come on, people, let's not do this one again. And, you know, I was talking to my wife about this. Of course, that's what I always do. And, oh, wait, we got one more clickety-click. So, yeah, so they got the same thing as last time. One of the symptoms of having this disease is not having symptoms. Good night, everyone. No symptoms. But that's one of the symptoms. So if you have the symptoms, you most likely have it. And if you don't have the symptoms, there's a chance that you have it, because that's one of the symptoms. I think I've said that enough. All right, let's kill that. Delete that group. Come over here where you all are. And then, let's see. Let me bring this up. Where'd it go? Forgot to grab this one before it went out. Let's see. So we'll get it right now. All right, so and this one just came out today that I saw, and I was like, so how are we gonna, like, if the Hantavirus allegedly is never transferred human to human, it's always been through contacting with a rat. Yeah, and that, you're right. Was who said it, Marcus? Yeah, I showed that. Even that's so ridiculous. That if you look it up, you can Google search it on. And it'll say that Hanta in Hebrew, of course, means fake. I mean, they just put it right out there. They just, the Hanta clause. That's pretty funny too. So yeah, but yeah, they just stick it out there for us to see, and then, you know, it's up to you if you want to listen to it.
Information's out there. All you have to do is let it in.
That one fit in there perfect. But yeah, and so, another symptom of Hantavirus possibly, I guess, is especially if you're a tiger. It was right there, so I just had to hit it. But yeah, so I was talking to my wife and saying, hey, so how are they going to get us, like, all freaking out about this Hantavirus if you have to have contact with a rodent, if it's not person to person? Of course, you know, now they're saying this might be the first time in history that you can get it person to person. But in addition to that, this article just came out, and we'll click it on and show you one of the ways that they want to push this narrative.
Nearly 2,000 products were recalled after the FDA found rodent and bird contamination at a distribution facility.
So the birds in there, throw them under the bus. Of course, pigeons are like rats in the air.
Grocery items like Cheerios, Skittles, and Pringles. Also pet food like Purina dog chow and Purina cat chow. And over-the-counter items like Advil, Benadryl, and Claritin. A full list is on the FDA's website.
Not gummy bears. So there you go. I think this is how they're going to connect it. I mean, it's one of the possibilities. But it just depends on us, like it did last time. It depends on us as to how far we take it. I could not believe how everyone just went right along with all this. You know, first of all, they had all the stickers and signs and stuff ready to go as soon as they wanted to put them up, which tells you they made them in advance. You can't do it that fast. And they had the arrows in the grocery store, and they had rules on when you had to wear the thing on your face and when you couldn't or didn't need to. And then the bathrooms were too dangerous in the restaurants, so they closed those, and they put outhouses in the outside because that makes sense. And then you could eat the food from the kitchen, but you couldn't sit in the restaurants, too dangerous. So they built parking lot restaurants to sit out in the parking lot because that was safe. Like, the rules made no sense then or now. And if you all are going to go through it again, just like last time, I'll sit it out. I have no problem sitting it out. I'll sit it out and watch everyone burn. Because it's nuts. I can't believe they fell for it last time. I can't believe that they're going to do it again. The stuff they told us to do, absolutely.
That makes no sense.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't believe what they were having us do. You could only walk one way in a grocery store. The cops and robbers and everyone had masks on, and you go into the bank, and if you didn't have a mask, you'd be in trouble. But then before and after, if you do have a mask, you're in trouble. Like, I played it before. I've done it a few times. I played, who's a cop and who's a robber, and I did it so well. No one's ever passed. No one's ever gotten them. And because it got so crazy in those days. And I just pray to God, we're not going to do that again. We're going to have people that are like in sports, and they're wearing these gigantic masks, taking sips of water.
No, thank you.
You just picture going all down. The video ends. Somebody did find another second or two of that, and I guess she stopped. But I like the way it ends for mine. But yeah, let's not do this again. Let's not do this again. I can't believe you all did it the first time. I can't believe that they're talking about maybe thinking about doing it again. Yeah, no, sorry. And you know what? Follow the doctors and the CDC's and the WHO's guidelines. I'm experimenting on myself. Don't forget, I'm not a doctor. This is not a medical show. And so do as your doctor and all the names, numbers, and whatever tell you. I'm experimenting. I did an experiment the last time. I didn't take their juice. I didn't put on their stuff. I didn't do any of their rules, and I lived. So I must be an anomaly because I lived. I'm fine. My wife and I have had very less colds, I think, in the last probably 10 years than we've had our whole life. So whatever that is, that's maybe the Holy Spirit thrown in there. But yeah. So, and I had we had people that were shocked that we thought they weren't going to ever see us again. Seriously. They said, have a nice life and stuff. So, yeah, Marcus, where is it? He's on here somewhere. I lost him. I'll find him. I know what he looks like. Here he is.
There are no experts.
So, yeah, it's time to go buy toilet paper. I've seen a few people post that. So, yeah. Oh, gosh. Okay, whoops. What do we got here? Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. I found that video, Jeannie, where she was. It's true. It's true. I did. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, now I'm an MD, hon. First I was CFM for president. So, but yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, exactly. And I know there's people that are suffering through things. I understand that. But it's not from these things, I'll tell you that. And I find it interesting because there's many verses in the Bible that I've seen change, and others have too. And one that really sticks with me was it's on my video. It's one of the Psalms. I can't think of the number right now, but 93 maybe. And it says it talks about the deadly pestilence, and it's now changed to noisome. And I thought that was an interesting change because a lot of the Bible changes kind of went along. Like when it used to say 2 or more gathered, and then we were only allowed 3 people in a room. It switched to 2 or 3 now. If you read the KJV, it now says where 2 or 3 are gathered rather than 2 or more. If these are new to you, I'm sorry if I'm blowing your mind. But and so the same thing with this. The pestilence that I saw happening wasn't deadly to me. It was noisome, because if you listen to it, then yeah, maybe you could come down with something if you juiced up and stuff. But if you didn't listen to the noise, the noisome pestilence, it didn't bother you. So that's the way I see it. Okay, what do we got going here? And someone just got here. Did you just get here? I think you did. They're saying your name, Lucas. So that means you're tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
So there. Yeah, it's a rerun. We already got the rerun. Isn't that something? Yeah. But yeah. And what are those? Steaks. Okay. Now people are hungry. So, all right. Where are we at here? I'm glad you're here too, Laura. So yes. And there's somebody named Sugar Cube. Where are you? Look at that. Sugar Cube. I love the names, Jeannie. They're really funny. Sugar Cube. Okay, so what do we got here? And Mark is saying hello. Hello, Mark. So, okay. Everything, I think I got a bunch of the people that snuck in late. And, okay, let's go back down here at the bottom here. Good for you. I agree. Right? And I saw somebody, ignore it. Somebody posted, where is it? There it is. No fear. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. Amen. Love it. So, all right. Let's go back down here. What can we do here? Okay. Oh, we closed that for sure. Oh, there was a video that I saw. Now, I don't want to be in trouble. I just found this video. I find it hilarious though, because
great out.
So you got. I'll give you the setup. So you've got. It's a woman's race. So all the drivers are female in the cars. And the announcers, at least one of them, I think, or more, they're male race drivers that do the same track. And so he's making comments that sound a little, I guess, under this day and age would sound sexist, misogynist. I don't know, whatever you want to say. Put myself in the corner. Nobody puts a baby in the corner. And then, but then you got to see what happens, because there's a thing that happens on a race when they start them out or when there's an accident. There's a what's called a pace car or truck that comes out and it kind of slows the whole action down until they can get ready to go again. And then the pace car leaves, or the pace truck. And so there's the setup. Now let's see what happens.
I mean, they look great out there. Not that I'm shocked. I'm not saying women cannot drive or they curb wheels all the time or anything like that. I'm definitely not saying that they're not as good at drivers as us. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm just saying I'm shocked.
Wow.
Oh, they're following
the kidney. They're following the pace truck. They follow the pace truck.
No way.
all 11
No way.
follow the pace truck.
No
Stop
way.
it, dude. Stop it. No, they didn't.
Again, I'm not saying we're
did
better.
Not follow the pace truck. All right, 1-0 this time by.
There's no way that's ever happened before.
You have got to be kidding me. They followed the pace truck.
Come on. That's too much. It really is. Where is it? I gotta see that.
Is us. I'm not saying that we're better. I'm just saying I'm shocked.
Wow.
Oh, they're following the kidney.
They're following the pace.
Every single one. Not a single one questioned it. It's fantastic. Oh, shoot. That's fantastic. So, all right. Enough of that. And let's see. All right, we got to cover the nukes still. And let's see. Oh, and we got that. I'll tell you what, let me I'm gonna get some fresh coffee and you'll watch my farm living in Sarah. So here you go.
The ceiling fans are very attractive.
Well, today's another man day. It's really hot out, so I'm shirtless. No, I'm not turning the camera around. And if you're wondering, just picture if, say, Rambo was a chicken farmer.
I've
been working on this chicken coop and its expansion, and it's become quite a project. I'm putting even more structure to it, and the beautiful thing about all of this wire, this was donated to us by a neighbor that was moving, so I have plenty of wire to do what I need to, but I'm just going to continue expanding this coop, and then we'll eventually get some type of roof to it. And yeah, so it's a labor of love, but it's taken longer than I anticipated, but it's going to be amazing when it's done.
Outstanding, soldier, outstanding!
All right, so I know I cook a lot on this show, or someone cooks for me, but another reason you can cook is, like this meal we've had multiple times. You can freeze it. It's just a simple pasta meal. And but like today, I'm working real hard like a man. And I don't have time to make lunch. The woman's doing womanly things, and so I'm gonna just put some noodles in here and the sauce and make my own, like beefaroni, you know what I mean? Beefaroni. And then if you do it right, you can grab some of this and throw it in there, and you can tilt this gently so that you don't spill. No utensils, less cleanup, more time to work. So a little tip that I was told by a friend of mine is that if you have a really long piece of wood that you can't hold up yourself and you have no one to help you, ceiling fan, man, the weird and strange things he sees. If you tap in a nail right about the area that you want it, then you can use that end to hold this, and then you can hold the other end and level it out by yourself. Can't do it with a handheld camera at the same time, but anyways, that's a nice little tip there that I'm passing on to you. Then once you've nailed it in, like I've done here, you just gently remove this, and it's like it was never there. Put a little putty there. Brilliant! So I go to the grocery store, and look at this. Really? Really? It's time for Ceiling Fan Man and Sarah, and kisses and tacos. The Black Panther is stalking its prey. Do you see anything, Black Panther? The Black Panther is on Pride Rock. Ha!
一样是少林学艺，东院的师傅是怎么教？Satellite
tracking continues.
All right, so there you go. A little bit of Sarah. Ryan. So, yeah. It's weird to see me in public with people. Thank God people don't know who I am in public, Rose. I know there's a few probably that know who I am, but most people, they don't know about this show, and I'll keep it that way as best they can. So, yeah. All right, what else I missed? I got everything. You used to eat beef. I couldn't eat it from the can. I always had to heat mine up. And do they even make that anymore? I wonder. Beefaroni. And it had the little tiny mystery meat pieces in there too. God knows what we're eating. It was full of chemicals. Yeah, that's right. I say the H. That's right. It's there for a reason. I'm going to say it. That food was full of chemicals. All right, what's next? I'll go back down the bottom here. The satellite tracking does continue. So, oh, Connor got recognized. See, Rose, that's the thing. No, thank you. So, and you want to talk? That's funny. I did make a taco video, and it really got everyone going on that night. But yeah. Okay, where are we at here? And yes, we have songs for Sarah. That's how, yeah, I agree. Okay, let's see. Everyone's talking about her, but I don't know where is she down there? She walked away from me here. So they still make him crispy chickens. Of course, the guy that makes everyone hungry when you say his name, but they still make ravioli. Okay, but I wonder about beefaroni. I wonder about ravioli. That was basically a beefaroni stuffed into a shell kind of thing. So yeah, SpaghettiOs. And you know what? My wife just told me recently. What was it? The alphabet soup. They're not making that anymore. So that was a weird one. Oh, look at Ryan. Are you still here? There's a visitor. Come here, you. All right, get them all. Did you get that one, Sarah? Get them. Algorithm told me that. She can steal your soul just by looking. Get them. So there she is. Want to say hi to the people? She's very camera shy lately and does not really want to fight. She kind of went on a whole Zen trip, I think, and doesn't want to fight anymore. But now she wants to leave. So there you go. That's your visit. So, all right. Where are we at here? I remember Hamburger Helper. I mean, we never had it, but I remember it with the talking hand, real creepy, be on the counter and he'd like be talking to the lady. So yeah. And then of course there's the old vacation movie where he just use the helper. He doesn't use the hamburger because it saves him money. So, and they still make beefaroni. Okay. All right. So, but you probably should be eating it. But in any case, just saying there. And they're saying hi to you, Sarah. So the alphabet soup was in cursive and it's too confusing for the new kids. That could be. I agree. That could be. So, all right. Okay. All right. I think we got everything. Yeah, the hamburger helper hand was a nightmare fuel, right? It was a talking white glove. Yeah. With teeth, I think it had too, didn't it? I don't know. It was real creepy. So, okay. I'll tell you what, we need to, let's clear some of these tabs. Let me go through. Let's do scary space news and get those out of the way.
This week in scary space news.
All right. Clickety click. There you go. Sarah hears. So, people, and I'm not alone with this. If you realize that you've been lied to about NASA and the shape of the Earth and whether or not we're flying through space and all that, then you realize that the same people that are trying to mock you, because they do, they mock you. They'll mock, like they won't mock someone that's mentally diminished or whatever word we're supposed to use nowadays, but then they'll mock someone that believes that the Earth is stationary. I'm not even calling myself a flat earther. I believe in the biblical Earth. And if you read the Bible or you can pronounce yourself a Christian or if you believe in God, I don't see how you can dismiss the fact that in the first chapter, first few pages even, it tells you that we're stationary on pillars and that there's a firmament above and below us. There's your ball. We're on the flat surface in the middle. There's water above us, water below us. There's some type of depth because there's shale God talks about. And then there's, heavens. And then above that is the water. And so that's why when we see stars, they look like you'd see in water, the same kind of, things that you see there. And the rainbow effect happens because of it, the light on it all makes sense. But they mock you and then they believe this. This is how they say the moon formed. The Earth got hit by this. I mean, how many times did the Earth get like nearly destroyed? Didn't they tell us the smallest little asteroid could destroy the Earth? And now like this gigantic blast hit it and it formed the moon and then it got sucked into a permanent revolution with us and the Earth went back together again like Humpty Dumpty couldn't. I mean, look at this. Look at the size of this explosion. I've seen enough Star Trek movies that should be gone, that whole planet. But no, somehow the planet Earth survives. And then this hot ball of mess cools down and forms the moon and starts circling us in this weird orbit that when you take pictures of it, you only see the same side no matter where you know, what time of year it is or anything, because it happens to be turning the exact same speed that it needs to, that we can't see the other side. I mean, to put it together, to make it work, sounds crazy to me. And yet they mock me. They mock our way of thinking because we dare question something that came to you when you were 5 years old. They stuck you in a classroom, the indoctrination camp at 5, and they told you, here's a globe, even though if you turn it upside down, it says, not for educational purposes, this is only a toy, it says that. But they said, this is where you live, and you're flying through space, and you're an insignificant speck of dust, and when you're dead, no one will notice you because there's an infinite amount of planets and solar systems and out there, and so you mean nothing. Now, open your books, and we'll start doing like English or something, right? And we'll teach you that there's there, and good luck trying to figure the English language out. I mean, it really is the language of the peasants. It doesn't make any sense trying to explain it to people. You know, do you say the? No, you say the. Oh, no, you say the if you're in America. Say the if you're over in England, the. You know, there's so many things that are so weird about, what is it? What's the other one they have? 2, 2, and 2. I mean, it's so stupid. So they take you into school and they teach you this is where you live. And then to solidify it, they throw dinosaurs in the mix, because those are the two things. I mean, I have grandkids now. The two things that they're wild about, dinosaurs and space. Well, not space yet, but dinosaurs for certain. But dinosaurs just locks you into thinking that the earth is like millions of years old instead of biblically where it's like 6,000 or so. You know, and the dinosaur bones that they find, the ones that are on display, are all fake. They admit all this. You can look this up. I'm not saying anything that's not true. That's the beautiful thing about, especially in these times we find ourselves in. The truth will set you free. That's the way it used to say it, but it says it in my mind and in my heart. The truth will set us free. And the fantastic thing about the times we find ourselves in is the truth's coming out. Whether the people want it or not, it comes out, and it's fantastic, because if you stand in truth, then nothing can rock you. That's why God talks about, you know, some of the seeds were planted here and some of them were planted here, but the ones that, you know, were rooted in him or rooted in truth, they're standing. And that's the beautiful thing, because you can see, I see it in my own personal life too. I mean, we all going through tribulations and stuff, and I have my own. And just so you know, like, if you're going to get attacked by the devil, if you're already doing the devil's work, you're not going to get attacked because he's already got you. It's if you start questioning the narrative or turning against the sinful ways of the world. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. Everyone sins. That's the whole point of this exercise, is to try to figure out how to live the most righteous you possibly can and how to teach others. Because then you could have heaven on earth if everyone lived in a righteous path. But unfortunately, the lies of the world, you know, money and power and things, they corrupt people. And if you don't have God in your life, you're more easily corrupted. Absolutely. And so the devil, he's going to use people, and specifically maybe people that you're close to or in your life, and he's going to use those people to go against you. He's going to use those people to help mock you and to bring false witness. All written about in Scripture. And how do you fight that? You know God. You make your connection. You make it tonight if you haven't done it, and you talk with him. And once he's got you, no one can pull you out of his hands. And so we're all going to go through some type of tribulations. That's just part of it. But in the end, God wins. Jesus overcomes everything in this world. And so if we have that love and we know the Holy Spirit in us, not to get all religious, because I'm not religious, but when you have that connection, then you'll be fine, because the truth is coming out. And it's fantastic when it does. It's wild to watch it happen. And so that's the thing. So they want you to believe right now that there's a Tesla flying through space that's heading to the sun. You can watch my Elon video. It's just beautiful. A voice of an angel. I lost out on the Grammy. I didn't know I got the Grammy. I lost the Oscar. That's right. And but I sing about that, because they actually you have to believe, if you believe in space, you have to believe that Tesla's out there flying around. And they're going to mock me because I'm questioning when I see a rocket ship go up and then go back down, and then it looks like it heads in the ocean. They have to explain to me the emperor has no clothes kind of thing. Oh no, you're watching it go over the curve. Well, how come the plane doesn't have to do that? Stop asking questions, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense when you start questioning it. But we were 5 years old when they started that, beating that drum. And so it's in our core memory. It's almost impossible to break through. I'll never forget when I started this process of waking up to the lies of the world, the last thing I would watch was a video that said the earth was flat. I mocked those people even when I woke up to everything else, Mandela effect, all of it. But that I couldn't stomach. And then what did I do? I watched some videos, some good ones. I mean, it's hard to find them nowadays. And I was shocked because it's such an easy thing. And then all the colors of the world really opened up because I feel like I felt grounded. I knew where I was all of a sudden, you know, and all those years I thought I was flying through space in this disco ball of stuff flying around us. You know, it's wild because all it just takes is just to sit down and have the time to think about it and to look into these things. That's why they keep us busy cradle to grave, is because if you never have time to stop and think about this, you won't. And you'll just, well, what does it matter what the shape of the earth is? Well, it matters because they're hiding God. It matters because they're trying to tell you that you're insignificant, when it's just the opposite. In fact, you're so powerful because God made you special, and each and every one of us is equally special in the eyes of God. He made you so powerful that they have to do these things where they inject you with stuff, and they feed you poison in your food and your water, and give you fear, and beat you to death with a job 9 to 5, you know, until you're, whether they push the retirement date to like 67 now or something. I mean, it's nuts. And so all that has to happen to you to prevent you from realizing who you are. That's amazing. And if we can harness that energy and realize that it's all fake that they're throwing at us, and that we're way stronger than they make us feel. Because I deal with that myself. It's like, I'll read the scriptures that says the prayer of a righteous man avails much. And if you ask for something, God will do it. He says that. He doesn't say he's going to think about it. He'll do it. Now, I've talked about this. His timeline and our timeline are a little different. So maybe you're waiting and you're expecting it to happen tomorrow, but it might take a week, 2 weeks, 6 months, a year. Who knows? You know, Daniel had to wait in prison, and Joseph had to wait in prison, and, you know, but they pray unceasingly. They prayed for it, and they knew God had answered their prayer. And that's how you have to look at it. You can't look at it as, oh, I sure hope God likes that and he'll do that for me. You have to look at it as he's already answered your prayer. But, you know, also, you know, guide your prayers. Use the Holy Spirit for that. You can't just say, God, I want, you know, a ton of money, because that's the love of money, and that's the sin of the world. But what you can say is, God, please take care of me and my family and give me the best outcome, because I'm hurting right now. I'm struggling with this, that, or the other, but I need your help right now. Things like that, you know, you do your own prayer. That's why I thought it was beautiful when they asked Jesus, you know, the how should we pray, the Lord's Prayer he gives. That was just a guideline, right? It's like if he taught you, if he was a builder, right? He was an architect apparently, and you said, hey, teach me to build a house, and he built just a regular one-story house, you wouldn't expect that, like, that's the only kind of house you'll build the rest of your life. No, you're going to take that experience, that knowledge, and then you're going to build from that. Ooh, like that building. You're going to build on that, and then you're going to create even better houses. He says, you know, when you do this, you'll be able to do greater things than I, and you can literally look at a mountain, and the mountain would move for you. I tried to hit a button. Nothing like a great rant and then missing the cue on the button. But yeah, so that's a wild thing. The truth is coming out, and it's quite a blessing. And just remember, if you know the truth, then you don't have to remember what you said, because it doesn't change. See, that's where the liars get into trouble, is because they forget what they said. Did they see stars? Did they not see stars? Could you see them all day long? Could you only see them at night? Have we gone through the Van Allen belt? Have we not gone through the Van Allen belt? I mean, they can't keep up with their own lies. But when you stand in truth, it doesn't matter, because it's the same story every time, because you're standing in truth.
That's very true.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend!
All right. Where were we? We were discussing scary space news. Yeah. So the people that mock us, they have to believe that some like monster planet slammed into the Earth and then created that satellite planet that just happens to share this perfect rotation and everything with us, of course. And they even have a name for the planet, Planet Thea. Slammed into Earth 4.6 billion years ago with a B. Billion. If I said that, no one would listen. Hey, you know what happened 4.6 billion years ago? Guess what? I don't know, and neither do you. 4.6 billion years. How do you even come up with an idea of what happened then? Are you listening to me, Jeannie? Is that nuts?
Yeah, it's not.
4.6 billion years ago, this happened.
Billion.
Billion with a B. And then
How do they know?
How do they know? How do it know? That's what I'm saying. They'll mock us, but then they'll come up with this nonsense. And I thought this was great. So now the release of the I call them the UFO dots, because that's all we got was like a bunch of dots. But then they have this one. They declassified this, which everyone pointed immediately. It looks just like looks like the crystal from the original, the good one, the Superman. I guess the one with Harry Cavill, whatever, was good too. But this is the original. Look, it's the exact same thing. Come on. It's just a recycled prop. This is the alien invasion? I thought it'd be way cooler than this. This sucks. Right, Jeannie?
It sucks.
It sucks. I gotta watch Superman again. It's way cooler than the alien invasion that we're receiving. Stupid. Look at that. 1978. Man, that was a long time ago. So, and then my friend Guy down under sent me a couple articles. They had dots from the moon. This is during the Apollo 12 landing. They were visited by aliens on the moon. See how they're tying it all together? Isn't that great? Yeah, but I'm the one to mock because I don't believe this. I think it's stupid. And why do they always release these things in sections and stuff, or bulk dumps, and most of it's nothing? It's just Satan's the author of confusion. That's all it is. You try to ask him, how does this work out? How does it? The moon or the sun is 93 million miles away, but yet when we need it for an eclipse, somehow, just like in Star Wars, the Death Star, all the parallel lines suddenly get whatever that is, particular, whatever, and they come together because of why? Because of umbrum and penumbrum and science and math and shut up. I mean, that makes no sense. Like all of a sudden now it works that way. The rest of the time it's all straight parallel lines, of course. So, but I'm the one to mock. Okay, and you're gonna believe, I'm the one to mock, and then you're gonna believe this. Where is he?
What a piece of junk! She'll make 0.5 past light speed. She may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid. I've made a lot of special modifications myself.
Satellite tracking continues.
Yeah, that went to the moon and back. Okay, but I'm the one that should be mocked. Okay, sure. It didn't look like paper and curtain rods and tape and tinfoil. No, I'm crazy to think that. And one more from down under. The scientists have discovered 27 Star Wars planets with 2 suns. So there you go. This isn't a special anymore. Dang it. That was one of the cool things about the original Star Wars. Never seen that before. Apparently there's 27 planets that have that exact same thing. So there you go. and more classified video. And it's just going to be dots. Let's see. Kill the audio on this thing. What if it doesn't want to play? Oh well, it's probably a bot spam ad anyways. Probably throws a virus on your computer. All right, away with you. So yeah, it's just a bunch of dots. That's all we get. I've shot better things in the sky with my telescope. Just saying. All right, what's next? All right, so we got the nuke thing we're going to discuss. I guess it's time we can talk about the nuke thing, and then look at some of that video that I have. So, okay, where are we at here? Let's go over here. And thank you. Well, you're welcome. I don't know what I did, but you're welcome. All right, why do you feel gypped? I'll help you. What do you need? So, all right, what do we got here? How fast do the Kessler run? Exactly. And NASA mocks us, and then the people just join in on that. Absolutely. Yeah, high-tech materials. Did he really, was he joking? That can't be. Did he really thought they were high-tech materials? That is so funny. So, let's see, where the flat disk or space tape. Yes. I know, I saw it in person, but, you know, it's those that have eyes to see, you know, because I didn't see it the way I see it now, and it's crazy what it looks like now. So, all right. I think I caught most everybody there. Let's move on back down. And oh yeah, we only have one son. Oh well. So okay. Yeah, and as far as if there's anything going on in the chat where people are arguing and fighting, no fussing and fighting, as the Beatles would say, at least 3 of them. I think that Paul was fake. But in any case, we're all here, like-minded. We have some basis in God, I believe. And that's it. And I attest to nothing. I'm still learning myself. And I can always be proven wrong, I'm certain, on anything other than, you know, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and he's the king. Other than that, I'm sure I can be proven wrong about just about anything, and I'll be willing to admit it if that ever happens, but most likely it won't.
That's very true.
All right. Where are we at here? Let's see.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hopefully you are. Okay. So nuclear weapons. I've had, like I said, more than at least 2 or 3 of these now. And the thing is they've been scaring us with nuclear weapons long before our generations. Even our parents, they had the threat that they were going to get nuked, and they had to hide under their desk and stuff. And they keep changing the bad guy, you know, right? Sometimes it's Russia, sometimes it's China, sometimes it's North Korea, and lately it's Iran. And what I find fascinating too is I found, let me bring this up. God, this cough that just keeps coming back. All right, where is it? Here it is. So they've been warning us about Iran getting nukes since Clinton. Oh, he's quiet. You're awfully quiet, Clinton. I did not have sex with that woman. Okay, here we go. What happened? And go. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, this is silly. Why won't it let me play this volume?
With Iran. Our second.
I am formally announcing my intention to cut off all trade and investment with Iran.
Our second goal is to prevent regimes that sponsor terror from threatening America or our friends and allies with weapons of mass destruction. Iran aggressively pursues these weapons and exports terror, while an unelected few repress the Iranian people's hope for freedom.
I strongly believe that our national security interest now depends upon preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Well, I can say to you, Iran will never get a nuclear weapon on my watch, as they say.
This terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
Can you get more coffee?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, hon. So yeah. So I asked the internet, of course, wow, how long have we been like afraid of Iran getting a nuclear weapon? And then I said, how about the 70s? And it said, oh, no, not in the 70s. We had the Shah of Iran as our plant stuck in there. And the 70s were fine. They were our ally. So I said, oh, well, then what happened? And bingo. Do you remember something that if you're old enough, we had Carter in there. Gas prices were crazy, even though they're like, I think, twice as, maybe 3 times as much as they were back then. And we had the gas crisis and all that. And Iran got rid of the Shah and took a bunch of hostages, U.S. hostages. And I think they were hostage, did however you say that. Let me get out of this screen share here a second. Quickly click. My wife's here with coffee. Oh, let me get rid of this. Hang on. One second, help. Sorry, everyone. Got to get the juice for the show. Well, you got, whoa, that's full. Sorry. Let me empty that or something. I'll use that. Okay.
What do you want me to do?
Can I have that back? Getting in trouble. Okay. So I was like, okay, so what happened? So we had that hostage crisis where Iran got rid of the Shah and took a bunch of hostages. And that happened right around the time Reagan was trying to be president. And he worked out a deal and he became president and immediately released the hostages. And he was a hero. In fact, he ran on MAGA, by the way. Did you know that? That was he had it before Trump did. He was the first Make America Great Again option. And but then, of course, it came out years later that he did it with, I think it was Ollie North, right? Isn't that the guy? And they traded the hostages for what? For arms, called the Iran-Contra affair, where they actually gave arms to the country that were afraid of having arms, right? Like, thank you. So, yeah, so suddenly it was like, that was okay to give them weapons back then, but now it's no good, right? So that's when it all changed. And then we were, given the speeches that Iran can't have any kind of like major arms anymore, even though we gave them to them. I mean, just watch any of the movies they teach you. What's that one with Iron Man in it? Well, Iron Man, no, there's other one where he was like he sold weapons to both sides and stuff. Robert Downey, some movie he was in. But that they show you that all the time. And there's been more than just this story proving that we've done this for years. We give weapons to both sides of a war. It's crazy. And that we just accept it as a populace. And I've watched streams like Connor and stuff and, rise up, but who are you going to fight? You can't storm a castle if there's no castle. You can't go to these people who run the place and say you're doing it wrong and we want you to leave. You can't protest and say no kings to a king or a guy that thinks he's Jesus at this point. You know what I mean? He brought people back from the dead. Watched it earlier in the show. And so it's like the only way we can do it is to just be a better version of ourselves and be a better version for the people immediately around us. And then the people that we can specifically influence on our own. That's all you can do. And from there, if it becomes a groundswell, well, so be it. But if it doesn't, you can't get frustrated because those of us that have been doing this for 7, 8 years more, we thought it was going to turn around before the first thing hit. and we were showing there was no one at the hospitals and all that. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And so all it can do is frustrate you. God says the saints get worn out. And so, of course, you're going to feel worn out. You're going to feel exhausted, exasperated. No one's listening. And they're also mocking you and bearing false witness. All the things that Jesus said would happen to you. It's all coming down on you. That means you're doing it right. Just keep doing it. And don't forget to ask for help from God. That's why he's there. He's there for what you can't handle. And trust me, there's stuff in this world you can't handle alone. If it's a spiritual battle, how are you going to do it if you don't get in touch with your spiritual side? If you're obsessed with the flesh side, you're not going to get the results that you want. You need to take time away from the flesh and go into the spirit. That means take some time, sit privately outside if you want to, with no phones or distractions, and talk to God there. Read the Bible. Spend some time with him. Those are the things. And don't forget to pray. You've got to pray every day, and you've got to pray constantly. I pray over every meal that I eat. I thank God for the blessing that I can have this meal. I mean, what a great thing that we take for granted, most of us. Most of us take for granted that we have a roof over our head, or that we have food, or that we even have, say, the internet, that we can gather together like this with like-minded people and spend a few hours away from the nonsense of the world, and to feel normal in a very twisted and ridiculous world that we find ourselves in.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend.
And yes, it's written in the Bible. Fasting and prayer for things that are really difficult, that works. But I'm on YouTube, so I'm going to remind you, I'm not a doctor. Check with your physician before you do any kind of fast, and know that, medicine helps you and not necessarily anything else. Because I did have that one time when I did a whole show about how prayer can help heal people, and it got taken down, and I got a strike. So I won't make that mistake again. I'm just here for entertainment purposes only. So there. Okay, that's enough of that. But yeah, so where are we at here? That's right. I like it. I claim no day. They're all his. And I love the fact that I can be blessed to be able to talk to you, whoever wants to watch this, to make you feel good that you're not alone, and to maybe give you some ways to encourage you to get through this nightmare. Because sometimes it can feel like that. What is John Kerwin said on my show, or in his show? It's like a gut punch every single day, some of the stuff that goes on in our lives. And some of you are hurting, and some of you are alone and physical pain and stuff. And so that's what you need to do. You need to reach out to God and know that he's heard you. And now you might not have that instant healing, but that's because somehow you're holding it back. And that's part of the indoctrination that we've had since we were infants. Because the very few times I've actually heard from God, as a voice, most of the time it's just a thought in my head that just somehow is there and answers my question. But one time when I was having a medical thing, I was crying out to Jesus. And what did he say to me? You're already healed, you just don't know it. And I think about that. If you go through the scriptures, you'll see two things. When Jesus healed someone, it would happen instantaneously. He didn't touch the guy that was blind and say, okay, now go home, and in about 3 weeks you'll be better. No, it was instant. The lame guy could get up and pick up his mat, his bed, his couch, whatever it is anymore, but he could pick that up and leave, right? It was an instantaneous thing. It didn't take forever. So then I started thinking, well, then how come when I need help with medical things, it doesn't happen immediately? And then you go through everyone I could find in the scriptures, when someone needed Jesus's help for healing, he would say their faith in the fact that he could heal them instantly, their faith in that's what healed them. Because he would say that the power doesn't come from him, it comes from God. And so he's just the facilitator for it. And once we realize, that's once again, when he says you can do greater works than I, once we realize that to the level of, say, Abraham or something, which is really hard to get to. It seems impossible sometimes. Then we would have that ability to do that. And so if you've been hurting and you're still hurting, don't give up. And add it to prayer circles. I know like some of the shows do prayer circles and stuff. If you can do that, great. Because it's all gonna, the more you put attention to something, it's like anything else, the stronger it's gonna be. And so I guess that's my main encouragement. And I fall short on that too myself. It's hard to do all the time because that's not how we were raised. That's why a lot of people don't even believe in the Mandela effect, because it's a spiritual battle. And so, yeah, things can change on a molecular level that they never told us they could. Let me show you this. Where'd it go? Hang on a second. I'll find it. Clickety click. Then we got to talk about nukes. Where'd it go? No, it's not there. All right, come on. Well, where'd it go? Darn it. I thought I had it right here. I don't see it. It was, well, all right. I can't find it. Who was, I think it was Terry sent me a Mandela thing. Maybe it's over here. Let me look at that. Go over here. No, I don't see it in there. But let me see if I can find it on the interweb. Let's see. Let's try that. And I didn't even talk with you on this one, Jeannie. This was interesting. Let's see. Is there seven? Okay. So this was a weird one for me. For those of you that play along with the Mandela effect, see if I can bring this one up. So if you're old enough to remember this, there was an episode of the Oprah Winfrey show, and where she gave, it hadn't been ever done before that I know. She gave away a bunch of cars, like 200 cars. And it's still like joked about in memes now, right? You get a car and you get a car. You remember that episode, hon?
Yes, I do.
Okay, for those of us playing at home, how do you remember that they got the car? What did they have to do? I remember they had to look under their seat.
Oh, yeah.
And find if they got a car. That's how I remember it. That's not how it goes anymore.
Carefully is being given a special package, and I
don't want to look. They brought out boxes, and they get boxes. Now, of course, there are going to be people mad at us going, "Oh, I remember the boxes." I don't remember the boxes. I remember them going under their chairs, right? Anybody down there?
Yeah, I remember them under the chair.
You remember the chair? Okay, thank you. I remember under the chairs. Not anymore. Now they get boxes. You get a car! You get a car! You get a car! I don't remember it that way. Sorry. So thank you for that one. So yeah, so this is a spiritual battle, and that's why I believe the Mandela effect is there to remind us that it happens in a way that we can understand. So, and I'm seeing most of the people are saying under the chairs. So, oh, but you saw it upside down because you're in Australia. See, that's funny. All right, you get one of these. Nice. So yeah, but most everybody seems to remember the under the chair. I mean, I think they even parodied it, like at events that I went to and stuff. They put stuff under the chair because of that. So yeah, so pretty much everybody remembers under the chair. All right. So why were we talking about that? Oh, so that was a whole talk on that. But let's go back into what we're discussing, the nuclear weapons. So they've been trying to scare us with these nuclear weapons. Like I said, my grandparents, my parents, whatever, they've had different countries that supposedly are going to nuke us. But they've been trying to scare us on this all this. I mean, one of my favorite movies with with the double murderer, Matthew Broderick, killed 2 people in a car crash in England when he was drunk driving. But nobody seems to remember that part of it. But he had that cool movie War Games. And one of my favorites, and that's all it was. It was just about scaring you with nukes and stuff. And so, yeah, look that up. He killed 2 people. But hey, he makes a good movie, so they let him off. But let's see, where are we at? Oh, the nuclear thing. So they brought that. I brought this up because something that came across my my desk or whatever, and clickety click. Did you all know that if Israel loses whatever as their as their country, their state, or whatever it is, they have a backup plan. They call it the Samson option, which, by the way, for me, I always thought Samson had a P in it. Samson. I even had a dog that I named after Samson in the Bible, even though I didn't, read the Bible back then. But yeah, so no P. In any case, the Samson option, which, if you're not familiar with the story, he's this like super strong guy, and nobody could beat him. He like beats up lions or tigers and bears. Oh my, I don't know, and Philistines and all these different people. And but then he allows his wife, who his parents told him not to marry, but the heart wants what the heart wants. And if you go through the history of the Bible, some of the greatest kings and stuff that we have in the Bible, including David, women turn their heart and mess with their minds, and all the way going back to the garden. Any case, I'm off topic. So Samson allows Delilah, which Mandela effect, Delilah no longer cuts his hair. She has a servant cut it, but I digress. So you move on from that nonsense. And so once his hair is cut, because it had never been cut before, he loses his super strength. And so they put his eyes out and put him in jail. And then they're going to just basically kill him for sport in front of everyone. And what does he do? He's able to find these 2 columns, even though he's blind, and he pushes him over because God allowed him to have his strength back. And he ends up killing more people in that one act than he did his entire life. And so that's the basis of what the Israelis use as the Samson option, which would be a massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort against any country whose military has invaded or destroyed much of Israel. And the term was popularized. So in any case, so did you all know about this? This was new to me. So basically, if Israel eventually doesn't get its way, it's warning the world, because it even says there's some it's got aimed at Europe and stuff too. It's not just like the areas right around them. And so once again, it's this scare you with the nukes. The Hunt for Red October. They're great movies, they're great stories, but they've been getting us scared for this stuff forever. And then, like I told you before, when you're a liar, you have to remember what you said. When you stand in truth, you don't have to worry about it. It's just there. You don't have to remember what you said. What's going on here? Oh, I didn't hit that button. There we go. And so I made this. We'll look at some of this video, and I'll have this available after the show. Where'd it go? Here it is. And it's about atom bombs and stuff. I'll put myself down in the corner here. Right? And first they told us that the radiation would be this shelf life or whatever that would go on for decades or whatever. And now they're telling us that when they blow up the thing, that most of that flies off into the atmosphere and dissipates. And so that's no longer true about the radiation thing. They just keep changing their story to fit the narrative. Let's see, where is it? 'Cause 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 'C
Start looking at this.
And you know what? If you looked at the, where is it? Let me move this. Let me add this one here. If you look at in the days of Vegas, let's see. Can I switch it from there, or does it have to go? Let me try a different way. Let's see. Clickety click. We'll go here and we'll share screen. Let's see. Hang on, people. We'll get there. Let's see. We want this. I want that. And we're going to sort it by the name. Let's see. Okay, I think we can do it this way. Let's try that. Here and then here. Yeah, in the 50s, they were so proud of their nuclear weapons. You could go to Vegas and they'd have atom bomb parties where you could like watch it, you know, allegedly. I mean, I don't know anyone that actually went to these 65 miles away, and you could watch it and everything was fine, you know. But who knows if anybody actually went to these things? Where is it? Where is it? Look at that. You're hanging out by the pool in Vegas and watching a nuke go off. I mean, come on. You guys buying this? It's pretty crazy. I have yet to meet anyone that actually was there, so all these pictures could be made up, you know? Who knows? It does. It could be AI, but even that, it could just be Photoshop back in the 50s. They had Photoshop in the like early 1900s, so. I mean, look at this. Yeah, you're just hanging out at your hotel, and then they shoot off a nuke. Sure, of course they could. All right, they get them all. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's all of them. So yeah, that was Vegas in the 50s. So okay.
Largest nuclear explosion that ever happened. The Tsar Bomba. Kind of
Tsar
King of
Bomba.
bombs.
Bomb.
Okay, was set off in 1961. This shows you the size. Here's Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These two down here. Okay, and then this is something giant mountain.
Everest.
I think that's Everest. Yeah, Mount Everest.
Yes.
Okay.
I like talking
That's
about
Bravo. Then now you got this one. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how big this thing was. Okay?
Ridiculous.
This shows you another example. Hiroshima, 1945, with 15 kiloton. Well, you can read the numbers. Then we went to megatons in France, which I didn't even know about this one. And then you got here. And now you got this one, 50 megaton bomb, Russia, 1961. Okay, so the same people that are telling you that about nuclear weapons are the ones that have told you about this stuff. I grabbed this from this site, military.com. I'll kill the audio just in case to make sure that they don't have a problem with me playing it. But well, look, they talk about how this is a supposedly they had about 6 cameras filming this when they dropped this bomb. It was equivalent to 58 million tons of TNT, which were basically all the explosive in World War II multiplied by 10 in this one drop. And as you can see, they dropped it by parachute because we always like to drop things like spacecraft.
Good men, we're real men. They didn't need They're trying to steal from brothers to motorbike helmet.
And we're expected to believe that this amazing feat of this incredible nuclear weapon, the biggest one in history, there's no radiation basically, because now all the math and science now says that radiation clouds usually disperse pretty quick, and that's why if you look into it, there's always been people living in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And
is pointing at the spot from which all damage to the surrounding area was measured in terms of distance from the center of the blast. Within a mile of 0 point, the devastation speaks for itself.
Is this Hiroshima? Is this Hiroshima? Is this Hiroshima? What's the difference again between an H.G. Wells atomic bomb and a traditional firebombing again? When we say firebombed or carpet bombed, we mean the land was pelted with M47s and M69s. An M47 is a 100-pound oil gel bomb. Each B-29 bomber carried 182 of them. An M69 is a 6-pound gelled gasoline bomb, 1,520 per aircraft. Also,
and you know what? I can't find the article, but if you look it up, they talk about how after the devastation of the war, there was mandatory injections, shall we say, of a bunch of different things to prevent diseases that they named off that were potentially happening because of the war and the destruction. I'm sure that had nothing to do with any of the sickness that happened later. It was, of course, radiation, right? Yes.
So some B-29s carried high explosives to deter Japanese firefighters. It's easier to count the major cities the United States didn't bomb. 1. Kyoto. Why did the Zionist-controlled United States government spend $2 billion in 1942 money on these very expensive H.G. Wells atomic bombs if carpet bombing worked just fine? Why? To scare the world population and rule us by fear, of course.
You can't have it both ways. You can't tell us that we're going to have to hide under our desks.
Check out my COVID beard.
Of course.
You can't have it both ways. You can't tell us that we're going to have to hide under our desks in case of nuclear war.
You might be eating your lunch when the flash comes. Duck and cover under the table. Then, if the explosion makes anything in the room fall down, it can't fall on you.
Because the wooden desks weren't made as cheaply as they're now from China.
China.
And they most likely would have protected you because that's what they taught everyone. Always, they put us in a fetal position so we could get closer to kissing our own ass goodbye, I believe. It's the only thing that makes sense, but they always have us put our heads down in every crash.
All right, now everybody, get in crash position.
Tokyo, Yokohama, Yokosuka, Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, Akashi, and dozens of other towns and cities which had been subject to intensive air attack. Some of these towns are so close together that they seem almost continuous industrial sites. All of these areas of annihilation presented approximately the same visual pattern. The smaller towns were totally burned out. Seen from above, the prevailing color was pinkish, the effect produced by the piles of ash and rubble mixed with rusted metal. Similar pinkish carpets were spread out in the larger cities, except that among them stood large and small modern concrete buildings in factory structure, unscathed bridges, and other objects that had withstood the impact. Many of the buildings, of course, were gutted by fire, but this was not apparent from the air.
I threw that little nugget in there because doesn't that look the same as what's going on right now? There's no nuke drop there, but man, it's devastated. If that's a real picture, that's just sad. Unbelievably sad. I don't care what side you feel that you're on, because you really shouldn't be on a side on this, but and then it's way over on the other side of the earth, whatever. But in any case, whatever side you're on, that's disgusting. It's horrible. No one should have to suffer that. Because the people that live there, what he's saying, everyone there was a terrorist? No, there were people just living their lives. Now, nuclear bombs might not be real, but war is, even though the reasons for it seem fake. But yeah, God help whoever lost their lives in that or their homes. What a disgusting thing that we're doing over there. Sorry. It has nothing to do with, how did this stop them from having nuclear weapons? This. It's gross.
So the first nuclear bomb was dropped on Hiroshima in August 6th of 1945, right? And this is what they tell us Hiroshima looks like a mere 4 days later. So this is Hiroshima, August 10th, 1945, 4 days after the nuclear bomb that was dropped on it. How are these streets perfectly cleared in 4 days?
They're clean, right? The bombs didn't do anything to the roads. I've seen enough of these bomb videos. Should be giant craters and nothing left.
How are there people walking around in a nuclear fallout site? This whole area should be heavily irradiated.
Radiation?
How are there still wooden trees and wooden utility poles here in a site where a nuclear bomb went off? This is in Nagasaki.
And Rose said, where is it? She has a full Nuke playlist. And Rose, you're the reason I even started looking into this, because you did a whole thing, you and the Crow guy and Jason did a thing on the Crow guy. I don't know why I said it that way. But Crow and Jason did a whole thing on how nuclear weapons were fake. And they had me look into that original video that's such a joke now when you watch it, that made us all like think that they were real. So
this is in Nagasaki right afterwards as well. You see a completely unscathed wooden utility pole. I understand if, you might see some like wooden utility poles slightly scorched but are still standing. That's, okay, maybe to be expected. Even though it's a massive nuclear bomb that just detonates and supposed to wipe everything out. Was Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombed? Yeah, absolutely. But was it bombed by a nuke? I highly doubt it. I don't think nukes are real, to be honest with you. I think that's part of the whole fakery they use in this system to control us, to keep us scared, to keep us worried that we're always going to be under the threat of nuclear annihilation.
I was keyed up for my first view of an atom bomb city, prepared for the radically new sights suggested by the exciting descriptions I had read and heard, but to my utter astonishment...
Now this was a guy, and he's got a book that he wrote too, Alexander P. Seversky, where he talks, he delves deep into this stuff on nuclear weapons.
Prepared for the radically new sights suggested by the exciting descriptions I had read and heard, but to my utter astonishment, Hiroshima from the air looked exactly like all the other burned out cities I had observed. There was a familiar pink blot, about 2 miles in diameter. It was dotted with charred trees and telephone poles. Only one of the city's 20 bridges was down. Hiroshima's cluster of modern buildings in the downtown section stood upright. It was obvious that the blast could not have been so powerful as we had been led to believe. It was an extensive blast rather than intensive. I had heard of buildings instantly consumed by unprecedented heat.
Oh, the header.
Go back and watch these old videos. And there's even one where like a truck just appears right as it's about to explode. Now they go back and say, oh, well, there was an edit there or whatever. But there wasn't there originally. I think it like disappears or appears in one of these. These things to me now just look like, something you'd see on Star Wars, just like really bad special effects.
Consumed by unprecedented heat.
Oh, the header.
Yet here I saw the building structurally intact, and what is more, topped by undamaged flagpoles, lightning rods, painted railings, air raid precaution signs, and other comparatively fragile objects. At the T-bridge, the aiming point for the atomic bomb, I looked for the bald spot where everything presumably had been vaporized in the twinkling of an eye. It wasn't there, or anywhere else. I could find no traces of unusual phenomena.
And I don't know who this is, but yeah, I'll talk to him. So just let me know, write me or whatever. We'll figure it out. So thanks. Yeah.
What I did see was in substance a replica of Yokohama, or Osaka, or the Tokyo suburbs, the familiar residue of an area of wood and brick houses raised by uncontrollable fire. Everywhere, I saw the trunks of charred and leafless trees, burned and unburned chunks of wood. The fire had been intense enough to bend and twist steel girders and to melt glass until it ran like lava, just as in other Japanese cities. The concrete buildings nearest to the center of explosion, some only a few blocks from the heart of the atom blast, showed no structural damage. Even cornices, canopies, and delicate exterior decorations were intact.
How can canopies and cornices, whatever those things are, how could they be intact? Seriously, this makes no sense. Where's that guy? I got a guy.
That makes no sense.
That's right.
Window glass was shattered, of course, but single panel frames held firm. Only window frames of 2 or more panels were bent and buckled. The blast impact, therefore, could not have been unusual.
It's not unusual.
If Seversky's observations hold merit, that would make 69 Japanese cities carpet bombed. Or, you could believe the official narrative, that the B-29 Enola Gay flew 31,000 feet in the air and dropped a uranium bomb named Little Boy that detonated 1,900 feet over Hiroshima at 8:16 a.m. on the morning of August 6th and killed 80,000 people instantaneously. Also, you'd believe that the B-29 boxcar flew at an elevation of 30,000 feet with the plutonium bomb Fat Man, which detonated 1,650 feet over Nagasaki at 11:02 a.m. on the morning of August 9th between the Mitsubishi Steel and Arms Works in the south and the Mitsubishi Urakami Ordnance Works in the north, and supposedly killed 40,000 people.
Let's take a look at the places in which nuclear explosions allegedly took place.
And yeah, it's where'd it go? You guys are talking so fast. Yeah, it's to make people scared unnecessarily. That's the thing. The world that we find ourselves in, it's all about fear. God says in the Bible more than anything, have no fear, right? Fear God is the beginning of knowledge, of wisdom. But other than that, have no fear, because this is all here to scare you. And so the world's the opposite. They tell you not to read the Bible, don't believe in God, and fear everything.
Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Does this look like something where an explosion with a temperature of 1 million Kelvin happened? Looks more like Dresden in 1945 to me. The windows in the center of the Bank of Japan building are broken, not the outer ones. A bomb strong enough to sweep away brick constructions, yet too weak to bend trees.
General Crawford Sams believed the hype, but not entirely. Sams was a medical doctor, one of 6 men who ran Japan under Douglas MacArthur from 1945 to 1952. He believed the atomic bomb existed, but indicated it was not very effective. He revealed in a 1979 interview that he was ordered to exaggerate its power.
You see, it wasn't booming like putting in a publicity. A bomb went off and the city disappeared. No such thing happened. That was the propaganda for deterrence.
There was a letter brought over by this first group that came up to Japan from the Philippines with me, from the Manhattan Project, in which the president was looking for a new deterrent against a future war because air power had failed to prevent World War II. You know, if you have another war, air power will...
Or World War 11, if you... if you're Elon Omaha, what's your name? World War 11, she said.
Destroy civilization, and it failed because it hadn't even brought Germany to its knees. A strategic bomb survey over there showed that military production had increased actually during our bombings. So the object of this instruction, called Letter of Instruction, was you will play up the devastating effect of the atomic bomb. All right, so I was the one who set the deadline this time. Anybody who had been in Hiroshima and died within 6 months, whether they got ran over by a bicycle or whatnot, would be credited to the atomic bomb.
Eyewitnesses state
where we heard that, where any death will be accredited to the current whatever psyop that's going on, without getting too openly out there about it on YouTube. But you know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So we just had a thing go by that no matter what you died of, they attributed it to the thing that they were scaring you with. So yeah, truly is the Truman Show. And I saw you, Sue, and a few others. You snuck in here, thought you could get in late.
I don't feel dirty. I don't feel dirty.
There you go. And that goes, I think Rick Swain just came in here and a few others. So that's for all you late people. You have to rewind it and watch the amazing beginning of the show. So, okay, where are we at? Let's finish this up here.
That something between 200 and 400 B-29 bombers flew over the city between 2 and 4 a.m. and dropped 1,500 tons of napalm bombs. And for decades, the US and the Japanese governments have spent more than hundreds of millions of dollars to understand how the radiation of the nuclear bomb harmed the people of Hiroshima or Nagasaki. One version is that these bombs were never dropped. And where has it disappeared to? The radiation. Even stranger is the fact that the Big Five in the UN, those with permanent veto powers, all happen to be governments authorized to have nuclear weapons. But a rogue who thinks evil, I suppose. Please take a look at the B-61 atom bomb that has just been made steerable by the Americans for $1 billion, but still has immobile tail fins.
Right? And isn't that the same thing they with what's his name, Elon Musk rockets? They steer by some like imaginary flame that they can change the direction and stuff. And you know what? I saw something in there. I don't know where it went. But I can talk about this in a second. Let me finish up what I'm doing here. Someone was talking short season, I think. So I'm trying to find. Oh, here, this one. Eugene, hang on. I'm gonna address that. So hold on a second. So, and I've missed you too, whoever you are. 2K 211 2211. Okay, let's finish this up here.
Another fun fact, it's absolutely safe to take a ride around in a hangar full of atom bombs. Conclusion? In order to cover up the truth about nuclear bombs, the US government created CCD, Civil Censorship Detachment, right after the occupation of Japan. CCD was confidential. No one was to know that there was censorship in Japan. Anyone who took photos of the devastation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki or claimed that the bomb was a fraud was simply incarcerated or executed because they were disturbing public peace. Anyone who cannot see the connection to the contemporary events in our days, anyone who believes in the official explanation of 9/11, the moon landing, or the assassination of John F. Kennedy, obviously has no trouble in believing that the collision of two small uranium plates made a giant explosion of 100 million degrees Celsius possible that disintegrated everything within a radius of several hundreds of kilometers. To put it simply, it's an enormous deceit to keep people in fear and compliance, and to keep some of the not-so-bright leaders of this world at bay by expressing an exaggerated military dominance that doesn't even exist. Stay alert, and don't let them fool you.
Satellite tracking continues.
All right, so there you go. And I'll have that video up after the show. So I played the whole thing. It's kind of fun to do it with you live. And yeah, so that's my take on it too. It's more about control. It's not just to control the people in fear, but it's also to control the different leaders that want to like puff their chests out. Because even though I say that they all work together for the same goals, you can look at like say a mob family, right? They all have their things that they're doing together, but at the same time, this guy wants to outdo this guy kind of thing. And so there is a power struggle, and I can see how that plays out. But that also goes into the narrative when they go on stage and they, oh, did Trump shake Xi's hand longer, or did Xi, however you say his name, did he grab it higher or lower? And oh, look, he's sitting higher than this guy, and his chair is a different size. Like, I saw it all, and I'm like, this is what we're discussing? Like, the files are done, right? Nobody cares about Nancy Guthrie's mother. There's a lot of things that we just, Ukraine, who cares, right? We don't care anymore. But that we're going to worry about is whose chair was higher, and who did Trump look like he was struggling to go up the stairs? I mean, it's nonsense. And that's why I was like, there's nothing to talk about. I'm not going to talk about Trump's trip. Might as well go over the nuclear thing now that I realize there's the Samson no P option that they're pushing, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing. They want you to be afraid of the nuclear option, whether it comes from North Korea or whether it comes from China, or whether it comes from Russia or now Iran, right? It's they just pick a new boogeyman. Do we not care about the MS-13 gang anymore? I guess that's over with, right? We're done with them. We done with them, hon? We don't hear about them anymore. No, they're gone, right? It's they keep changing the boogeyman and nobody seems to notice. Because worse than anything, the people of the world, the earth or whatever, have gotten apathetic. And that's, I think, just because we've been beaten down by this crap since we were children. And that's why, those of us watching these channels don't even watch the news anymore. I mean, I pick it up off of Twitter mostly because I need to have content for this show and to tap in to see what people are talking about. I don't want to be like not involved in what's happening in the world, but I also know that it's fake. But if people believe in it, and it becomes real, right? The nonsense that happened during the lockdown, all that stuff we were talking about earlier with the arrows and stuff, that happened. It was fake, but it happened, and it became real. And then it became involved in everyone's lives. We got kicked out of restaurants and stuff. My wife and I, we tried to do something nice in Seattle, and we couldn't eat anywhere. We went home because they wouldn't let us in without the card and the thing and all that. Whatever. I'm just telling you, it's I just pray that we have awoken to the point where they're not going to be able to push that on us again, because they can only do it with our consent. There's one thing that everyone agrees on. We were God-given free will. And so the only way that they can circumvent that, A, they have to tell you their plan, because that's how this whole system works. And B, you have to accept it, even though you know in the back of your mind something's not right. But you give your consent, and away they go. And so that's how this works. Now, to go back to, and I don't want to fight or argue. I mean, I believe what I believe, and you believe what you believe. Just remember that we're still brothers and sisters in Christ. We're here to help each other get through these times. Now, if you believe that we're heading towards the revelation and Jesus hasn't come back, wonderful, because you're waiting for God to return. And if you're like myself that think that that happened and now we're in the end of the book, the little season, I'm also waiting for Jesus or God's return. We're waiting for the same thing. We don't get caught up in the sauce and the juice of this fighting back and forth over it. And as far as you can point to things that say Mount Olives hasn't been split, or I've had people say to me, where's Jesus? I don't see him. And I'll give you this analogy that I created, and I use it all the time because I think I'm really smart. If I said to you, there's a train coming at 8 a.m., and I'm there at 8 a.m., and I see the train go by, but you show up at 9, and you're like, I don't see a train, and I have to tell you, well, it already happened. You're not going to tell me, well, I don't think it happened because I haven't seen it, because you were late. You didn't see it. So all the stuff that potentially has already happened, we weren't there. You can go through the list of my, things that I've discussed about how, the church was destroyed in 70 AD and all the churches that are written about, the letters, they're all gone, just like Paul said they were going to happen, that come quickly. And Jesus talks about in this generation. There's all that evidence that I see is out there. But at the same time, you can look at something like what they call Patagonia. What do they call that? No, what's the name of that? Pangea. That's where they said all the continents separated. But that's science on a globe. So my point is things could have shifted and changed, and we're living in what's happened after that. So I can't point to you what the Mount Olives looked like before this. I can only show you what they tell us it is now. Are they right? I don't know. They've lied to me about just about everything else. So I can't say, but neither can you. I can't tell you, is Jesus here right now, other than I know he's, here in spirit, but is he physically somewhere I can say, oh, look, there's Jesus? I don't know. You probably, not you, but people that ask me this question have maybe never left their city or their state or their country. They've never explored, Antarctica. There's so many places that you as a populace has never seen. So you don't know what's out there other than what comes across these screens, and these screens lie to you. So unless you've physically gone there, you can't say you got the whole Admiral Byrd thing, but of course I believe he was a plant because you wouldn't be allowed to say all that unless they wanted you to hear it. But he talked about all this crazy stuff on the other side of the ice wall. So who knows what's there that we can't get to? The Garden of Eden is supposed to still be here. It's guarded by angels that'll kill you if you try to get there. So I don't know. I can't tell you what's happened in the past because I'm living in the present. And I can't tell you what's on, past the areas that I've actually visited and can see with my own eyes because I haven't been there. So it's not something I'll ever argue over other than discuss it right here, just so you know. I can't prove these things, and neither can anyone else. So if you feel more comfortable believing that those things haven't happened and you're waiting for Jesus, great. I feel that those things have happened. I'm still waiting for the same thing. We're on the same side. We'll never fight with you all. I won't argue over this because we're on the same side. And I have some very dear friends on YouTube. David, that does a wonderful Jesus Freak. He and I differ on this. That's okay. We still can talk about things and still be brothers in Christ. It's not a problem for me. So don't ever feel that you feel like you're ostracized or you need to discuss it or change people's minds. We don't need to. We don't need to. Eyes on the prize. The prize, that's Jesus. The prize is going home and getting out of this mess that we find ourselves in. We live on God's green, beautiful earth, but we're surrounded by Satan's little mini world until we can get out of this place. That's it in a nutshell.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend!
If that's it in a nutshell, I guess that makes me the nut. So there you go. So to all my haters and whatever you want to call it and false accusers and all that stuff, go ahead, continue to mock me. But the beautiful thing about the times that we find ourselves in is, as God has promised, the truth will set you free.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know if I should have hit the South Park people on that one, but okay. So where are we at? Okay, Wendy, fine. Member for 13 months. We did it, but we'll do it again. I've been called worse. Well said and well punned. Thank you. All right. Oh, thanks. Where did he go? Iron sharpens iron. Exactly. I agree. And you got my back. Thank you, boldest lion. All right. Where was I? Oh, yeah. You wanted to. All right. We already did it. I don't want to bore the audience. It's only a few seconds. Here you go. Here's your Valhalla with that idiot in the foreign.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk. Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
Sorry about that, if it makes you sick. I had someone that used to tell me that this one made them sick, but I still like it.
And so here we are.
So that's just the way it works. So there's a drop for everyone, and sometimes the drops aren't for everyone. That was pretty good. And I said everyone twice. Everyone! All right. I think that's got them. I think I got them all. Maybe missed a few drops here and there, but we got most of them all in there. So one last time, a cat flying through the.
What the just happened?
All right. I think I covered everything. I did a couple of different rants, and yeah, coffee. I don't know. Coffee's never bothered me, and it helps me stay to the show. Years ago, when I started doing this show, I used to drink beer, and then I'd like joke and call it an Oreo. And then people were like, "What's he eating, Oreos?" Or so. But then I would get kind of plastered by the end of the show. Plus, I put on weight, and so I got rid of that and went to coffee. So, but the caffeine has never affected me. Okay, is that it? I think I got everyone. I got all the. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, okay, fine. The one I missed the Oscar on, the role that was made for me.
I got nowhere else to go. I got nowhere else to go.
All right, I think that's it. They got they hit everyone's hits, hopefully. And yeah, I think we got them all. Okay. So let's go back down to the beginning here, or the ending here. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's a good couple hours, 2.5 hours or so. I can't slow it down. That's as fast as you'll have to do it somehow at home. But no, that's a video. That's how it comes out. So yes, thank you, Trish. Hit the like button, please. Oh, you have a friend that calls them sandwiches? That's funny. Yeah. So, all right. So I think that's it. I think I covered just about everything. And I hope you enjoyed tonight, and hopefully you learned something and had some fun. And let's do this again. And so I'll have to say that, dear Father in heaven, please continue to watch over us and guide us through these times. We thank you for the blessings that we were able to see the world the way that you want us to see it, and to come together with like-minded people. And please give us the comfort and the joy in our hearts and the patience to wait for the people, even if they mock us or turn against us, to know that just as God tells us, we will pray for them. We'll pray for them because it's easy to pray for someone that you love and care for, and it's harder to pray for someone that's turned against you. But we need to pray for them, that they wake up, they unharden their hearts, and that they find the way, the truth, and the life through Jesus, that they find the truth of the world, and that they've been lied to like we are, and that we're their brothers and sisters and friends and neighbors. We're on their side. We're not against them. We're with them. They just might not see it, and they might turn against us and show anger and frustration and wickedness. but we have to stay the path, pray for their souls, and the prayer of a righteous person availeth much. We thank you for this time that we get together, and continue to bless us and fill our hearts with joy, and help us and heal us for those of us that are hurting and those of us that are alone. Give us the comfort that you've promised, and the Holy Spirit to help us get through these times. And we thank you for being able to be here in these times, and use us as your vessel to whatever cause that you need us to do, so we can bring more people home to the way, the truth, and the life through Jesus, and to find out that you're real and you love us, and we're all going to be coming home soon, and that we won't have to fear the world that we live in, because it'll be such a more amazing and beautiful place. And I thank you for the blessing that I can touch and talk to people all over the globe, the world, the earth, and that they hear the sound of my voice, and it brings them some type of comfort or enjoyment that they can share with others. I thank you for that, because as we know, in these times, the spirit of the devil is out. You can see it all over. But God also says he'll pour out his spirit, and that's what we're here for. And we thank you for being allowed to be useful in that way. And I'll continue to do this and preach and speak the truth until the very day that you take my last breath and I get to see you in heaven, or wherever it is that we all end up. And I thank you. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, that's it. That's all I got in the tank. And hopefully you had a good time tonight. Let's do this again. Same bad time, same bad channel next Friday night. And if you have anything that you want to ask me, write me, send me an email, ceilingfanman2020@gmail.com. And I miss Chad's in there. Thank you very much. God bless you for that. And to all my Patreons and members and all that, I really appreciate all of that helps. And to everyone else that's just watching, hit that like button, share and subscribe. And thank you again for being here with me once again. And let's do this again, God willing, next week. So have a wonderful weekend, everyone. And God bless you all. And he says this, with the knife.
Class is dismissed.
Almost forgot to dismiss the class. All right, now you're dismissed. Here's the song. Good night.
I'm the satellite.
500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.